Good evening, everybody, and welcome along to VSL F1. This is round number 7, and we head to Spielberg, the Red Bull Ring, for the Austrian Grand Prix. One of my favourite tracks to commentate on and to watch on, and I think a lot of the drivers' favourite as well. My name is Jess, and I'll be your commentator throughout this evening's race, and we should be in for some exciting action. Now, if you missed last week, it was a really good race where we saw J-Luke take the win with Red Matt in second and Brandon in third. They'll be doing the 2-stop today. But before we do go into one-shot qualifying, which is what all the drivers are going to be doing today, pretty much like all the season so far, let's take a look at the championship standings as of round 6 last week. So, Mata is your current championship leader with 115 points. Carl in second with 93. Now, Carl really needs to pick up the pace a bit. He's had 2 races where it hasn't gone right for him. Maybe tonight could be the night where he turns the tide. We got Pete in third on 79 points. Fourth is Brandon with 72. Fifth is Banco with 67. Well, he's not in the league anymore, but he's still in the standings. Red Matt is 6th with 54. 7th is J-Luke with 45. Iceman in 8th with 43. 9th is Ryan Berry with 42. Akon is 10th with 27. M. Ryan is 11th on 23 points. 12th is Niels on 20. Yuri is 13th on 19 points. 14th is Lee on 18. 15th is Newgarden on 17. 16th is Risky on 12. 17th is Ahmed on 10. 18th is Kev on 8. 19th is Logan on 5. Brad is 20th on 1. And in last place, Dave, who is yet to score any points. Looking at the Constructors' Championship, Team Yellow are running away with it at the moment. They're on 241 points, with second place, which is VSL Pink, with 165 points. Third is Green, 147 points. Fourth is Blue, 141. And in last place, who are way behind everybody else at the moment, is VSL Red. So there we go. Basically, in each of the teams they have, well, it's 5 teams, and it's courtesy of 4 team members each, and they need to score points for their teams, which is why they are going to be running in the multiplayer cars. More about the track a little bit later on as the drivers get ready for the session ahead. So the track has been renamed the Red Bull Ring in 2011, and the circuit made its reappearance back in 2014 during the start of the hybrid era, and we've raced here ever since, and we've had 2 Austrian races last year due to COVID. It actually started the season. We had obviously the normal Austrian Grand Prix, then a week later we had the Syrian Grand Prix. The Syrian Grand Prix actually had a wet qualifying. Luckily we're not going to get a wet qualifying here today, but who knows, the race could be a little bit different. So we're going to have a quick look at the track as well before we get going. So the track is 4.3 kilometres long, 10 corners, making it the shortest lap on the F1 calendar. 3 DRS zones for overtaking opportunities, 1 being at the start finish straight, 1 through turn 2 and 3, and 1 going into turn 4. It sees fantastic battles around these corners for over the years, especially between Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc. I think it was back in 2019, and that was Verstappen took a very popular victory for the home crowd as well. Unfortunately, on one of the Austrian Grand Prix races, the Ferraris didn't bow too well, and both of them ended up retiring, but hopefully they'll do much better, obviously, in real life when they go there later on. So we've got 3 compounded tyres being used for today's race. We've got the C4s, the soft C3s, which are the mediums, and the C2s, which are the hards. And the delta between the softs and the mediums, 8 tenths slower than the softs, and the hards 1.2 seconds slower than the softs. And between the mediums and the hards, not much difference, 4 tenths. So it's going to be very interesting. In particular, the ones doing the 2-stop. If I were them, the hard side is definitely not an option unless you get some damage along the way. So, and hards, I've experienced it myself. Hards they're not the best around here. You just lose so much time. It's just incredible. But I wonder if we're going to see times into the 1 minute 2s tonight. I can feel it. We'll have to wait and see. It depends also on what setup people have got as well. So we will keep our close eye on that. Because usually, when in qualifying, they usually go for a setup which is best suited for in the race. Now, I'm not sure if I went on board with Yuri before. I can't really remember. It's been a long go. Let's go on board with M. Ryan as he makes his way past the Nicky Lauda curve, as it's called, due to the tribute of Nicky Lauda. Just past turn 2 into Remus. Braking zone is a steep uphill climb. Coming into turn 3, the final of the trio of right-handers that opens the lap. One of the most overtaken spots around the track. Your line through turn 4 is going to be very crucial, as positioning the car wrongly through here usually ends you into the gravel. So coming through turn 4 now, let's see how he does it. Not too bad at the moment, but he didn't get a very good exit, so that may have compromised his run just a little bit as he passes 5 and I'm going to head towards turn 6, which is the Worth curve. And you can lose a lot of time through here without even realising it. Turn 7 and 8 go through here. They really round off the lap here heading towards this next set of corners, and you're going to be heading towards turn 9 and heading towards turn 10, which is a very common place to invalidate. Luckily, he does not invalidate his lap, and it is a 1 minute 4.815. It's currently not the pole time, but it is still a good time. Apologies if I went on board with him already this season, but I can't remember who I was on board with, so yeah, you can blame me on that one. But pole today is Red Matt with a 103.306, 3/10 clear of Risky, who had a very good qualifying session as well. Risky, well, he's had some lucky performances, but he has been that consistent. Maybe tonight could be the start of things to come for Risky. He's currently sitting 16th in the standings right now. We've got Carl in 3rd, Ahmed in 4th. Ahmed also had a good qualifying session as well. Brandon in 5th, Acorn in 6th, Yuri in 7th, Iceman in 8th, M. Ryan in 9th, Ryan Berry in 10th, and Newgarden in 11th. Ryan Berry, interestingly, starting on the mediums, and more people had their laps invalidated. And I have to say, Austria, I'm speaking from experience, Austria is a track where invalidations are very, very common. It's just too strict, the corner cutting here. There's no middle ground, really. If you put it on regular, it's too lenient. If you put it on strict in Austria, it's too strict. So maybe the podium today is probably going to come down to how many penalties people got. If they got no penalties, then they're going to potentially gain a huge advantage as well around here. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about the tyre life as well, because it lasts quite a bit around this track. Tyre degradation is not too bad around here. The softs can last around about 16 laps. So if you were to do a medium to soft strategy, you can pit around lap 20 and you can comfortably get into the end, but it will be a little bit of a push, I would say. But that'll be interesting there. The mediums last 21 laps and the hards last 26 laps. And the pit loss around here is around about 18 seconds, sorry. So there we go. So the ones on the run-stop strategy, which are people that weren't in the top 3 last week, they'll most likely be doing soft to mediums, apart from, obviously, I think whoever started in 10th decides to qualify on the mediums, which could throw a spanner in the works. We'll have to wait and see on that one. But the ones on the 2-stop, the strategy that I find to be useful around here is definitely soft, medium, soft. You start on the softest tyre, then go in the middle ground on the mediums, and then you finish on the fastest tyres at the end. I think that's what's best for you, but again, it depends on the weather. It looks quite cloudy at the moment, a bit of dark clouds, so you never know what the Spielberg weather could throw at us, which could make things very, very exciting. Let us know your predictions in the chat on who you think is going to be winning this race, who you think is going to be getting the top 3. Are the ones on the 2-stop strategy here tonight going to succeed? We're going to have to find out as well. We saw people on the 2-stop do very, very well indeed. So we'll have to wait and see. So obviously J-League not here tonight. We only got 2 people on the 2-stop, which makes things less carnage, I would say. But, you know, these 2 drivers are really fast drivers, which are Red Matt and Brandon. Brandon, I have to say, one of the drivers of the day last week, as well as Jamie, who put some really good performances in China. Jamie climbed his way through the field as well. It was just fantastic to watch. I think we could also see around this track, I think, lots of moves being made from the back of the field as well. And with only 15 drivers, plenty of chances for points to be made. And don't forget, the top 12 do score points here tonight. So only 3 drivers will not score any points. But if you retire, obviously, you get no points. So you really want to finish today. And don't give up when the going gets tough, because you never know what could happen in VSL F1. And just to let you know, mid-season sign-ups will be opening very, very soon as well. So if you are interested in driving in this league and you have a PlayStation 4 or 5, then check out the Twitter in the next week or so for more information. It'll be nice to get a few new faces or maybe some familiar faces to this community as well. Who knows, I may be commentating on you in the next couple of weeks from now on. As someone has already binned it in the formation lap, that is not a good situation to be in at this moment in time. But we're going to check the tyre strategy for all the drivers now. So let me just get lap data off because we don't need that. We don't need that at the moment. So we have got people outside the top 10. Obviously, Ryan Berry on the mediums. Obviously, he qualified on those, so he'll be starting on them. But everyone else starting on the mediums outside the top 10. Pete, I was not expecting him to qualify this low. He said he was feeling confident about this track, but maybe he wanted to do the alternate strategy on purpose, potentially. But we'll see anyway, or he might have had a very poor lap. But that's what one shot qualifying throws at you. It can definitely shake the order up. We got Lee in 14th. He's on the memes, as well as Matu as well. Obviously, those three got their lap times invalidated. People outside the top 10 who had validated times, we got Newgarden and Logan. They are on the soft compounder tyres. That could be interesting, actually. But maybe they're going to be predicting early safety cars, which can be possible in a track like this. I've seen many instances where safety cars can change things for the course of this race. I was at Austria race yesterday where there was a safety car right at the beginning. There was a huge pile-up heading into turn 1. Let's hope we don't see exactly the same tonight. We want everyone to make it clean through turn 1. Now, luckily, it's not going to be a start where they get blinded, because I believe this is set to official. And I had experience of this yesterday. So getting into turn 1 with the sunlight in official, it's absolutely awful. You can hardly see your braking points. So I think we're going to have a much cleaner start than most Austria races. But we'll see, as we're waiting for all 15 drivers to make it on their way to the grid. And, oh, excuse me, my grammar was a bit horrible there. But who is going to remain victorious here today in the Spielberg Mountains? The heels are alive in VSL F1, as I say. And sorry about the puns at the moment, but there we go. I'm going to get my prediction in on who I think is going to be winning this race. I think it's going to be a tough call, but I think Carl qualified in a good third position. I think he's going to do it. I think Carl's going to be the one who takes it to victory here today. He is not doing the 2-stop, and he's the one that was being said on the tweet that he really needs to step up his game a little bit as well. Who are we waiting for? Are we waiting for Pete? Now, Pete's car is just stationary in turn 8. Well, into the entry of turn 8. That is an interesting thing to behold in this game. The last time I've seen it was in Singapore, where he actually reset to track. He reset to track, and the AI was just about to take control, and then his car got stuck. So I believe we're going to be restarting the lobby. Yes, we are restarting the lobby, which is a bit of a shame, but that gives chance for drivers to... I need to actually leave the lobby before I get a blue screen, if it will let me, that is. There we go. We're about to lead the session before I get a blue screen of death, which we do not know what will happen, and I'll mute the music for the time being as well, because I don't want to distract. Now, I have to say, this gives me quite a lot more things to talk about now. The drivers will have to keep exactly the same setup as they loaded in to the session with just now. If they are caught to run a different setup, then they will be, I believe, get penalties or get disqualified. I'll have to check the rules on that front, but the drivers will be reminded about that rule. Also, as well, we are the stewards have told the drivers here tonight that the pit lane is going to be crucial. Now, you have to follow the lane line heading past turn 8. You can't cut it. If you cut it, you're going to be in trouble. Now, actually, since we have time, I'm going to save this image and I'm going to show you on stream how the drivers need to take the pit lane when they do their pit stop. So, just give me a second and I'll do a scene ready just to give you an idea, because you may also run a league or run a league where you got Austria kind of soon. So let me just get a scene ready and just show you what the drivers have to contend with in the pit stop. So if you just give me a moment, and I'll wait for an invite as well from the lobby host. And I've just got an invite, but I'll just sort this out quickly first before I get in. So I missed the opportunity there. But he sent me 2 invites, so I'll get the latest one. There we go. So I should go in now. Yep, I'm in now. So the image at the top is how the drivers have to take the pit lane. That is, you got to follow the pit lane entry line, which is to the, I think it's to the left of the drivers. I don't even know. I can't even do math. Do my lesson right, sorry. But yeah, it is to the left of the drivers. And as soon as the line starts, that's when they take the pit lane line. But you can't do that after. If you decide, right, I'm going to pit now, it's too late. You have to take it another lap. So the image on the bottom, you can't do that because it may hurt, like the car behind, you can see there, may get hindered by that. So do not do what the bottom image does. Do what the top image does, and you should be absolutely fine. I'm definitely going to be keeping my eye on that today as well, and I'm sure you guys will as well. But yeah, that's just a few things to watch out for as well. Now, I do believe I need to actually check as well if it's going to be set to dynamic or if it's going to be clear weather. I believe it's going to be overcast weather because that's what it was set in dynamic weather in the last lobby. So overcast weather, no rain, which I was expecting. I thought it was going to make things a little bit more interesting, but probably a relief for the drivers that there isn't going to be any wet weather to spoil proceedings. But that means maybe a lot of DRS trains here today as well. And it looks like we got all 15 drivers in the lobby. So now we're just going to be waiting for the lobby host to set the custom grid. And also don't forget the top 10 will have to start on the tyres that they qualify on, which is for the top 9, the soft compounder tyres. And Ryan Berry will be starting on the mediums. Everybody else who is outside the top 10, I believe they can start on whatever tyre they want. But I will need to double check that from the admin just to be sure about that. That was a very weird glitch that happened. I mean, it's the second time that it's happened. And if we carried on with the lobby like that, it would have put in a few of the drivers on minus 200-degree tyres. And looks like the lobby is going very quickly. So massive shouts to all the drivers for getting into the lobby as quickly as they possibly can whilst the lobby host tries to get the grid set up. I mean, we didn't want the lobby to be delayed as much as we did, but thank you to everyone for your cooperation, and thank you for those of you in the chat to have been waiting very, very patiently for the lobby to start. And we can get some action underway very, very soon because I want to get the action sorted. 36 laps await our drivers, and I think it's going to be probably the most exciting VSL races we've seen, I think, in a long, long time. So don't you dare tune out. Don't you dare turn off this stream or this video if you're watching this back. Keep watching this evening, and you never know, we could be in for some great entertainment as the drivers are going to be readying up right now as we are about to start, which is exciting. I can't wait. And they will be forced to wait, I think, 2 minutes as well whilst the drivers get their setups on. I hope they do that because otherwise it'll be unfair to the drivers who don't load in the setups. We don't want any drivers on default setups. Now, the drivers have been told to ready up. Some drivers are not readied up yet, but I believe everybody has to start on the same time and set up. Let me just double check quickly. You're probably going to hear me frantically typing. So excuse me a minute. So I will double check for you. I thought it was inside the top 10 and they have to start on whatever tyre, but it could be everybody. And I should have read the rules, really, to be honest. I'm a stupid commentator for not reading the rules, but I will remember next time about. Well, actually, we'll probably try and find out what happened with Pete there in the formation lap. because it was very, very weird. But maybe we could get a POV from Pete if he's streaming or anything, or if he's recorded his POV or something, because, yeah, very, very interesting. But, you know, something I hope doesn't happen again, and hopefully we can have a cleaner stuff. So, yeah, I've just been told by the admins that, yes, people outside the top 10 will have to start on the same tyres as well. So, if I get the tyres up, so, let me just have a look. So, I believe the only ones that are starting on the mediums is Ryan Berry and Pete, Lee, and Matter. So, if I get the screenshot up and put it on there. And yes, I do know about the 2-minute rule. So, all good. So, I've just informed the drivers about their tyre choices. So, we'll be keeping a close eye on that. Let us know, like we said, who you think is going to be winning. Who are you supporting today as well? We still got quite a lot of rounds left of this championship. So, still all to play for in this league. I can't believe it's 6 rounds done already with, like, plenty of rounds still to go. It's going to be very, very spectacular to behold. We got Netherlands next week, then we head to Belgium the week after. Then we got Italy, Singapore, Monaco in the night time, Canada, Australia, Bahrain, then Bahrain short. And I have to say, I commentated on the Bahrain short race on Monday for another league, and you guys are going to be in for an absolute treat, I can tell you that. And I think I'm going to be in for a treat as well. So I'm already excited for June the 2nd, as Yuri, unfortunately, has left the session. So hopefully he can join back as soon as possible, because it's unfair for him to not be in the session. So fingers crossed. But I think the drivers will probably be told to hang fire just a little bit whilst we wait for Yuri. So keeping our fingers crossed that he can join back, because otherwise we are going to be in a bit of trouble, but we'll see anyway. So, interesting fact about the Red Bull Ring. It was actually originally not called the Red Bull Ring. It was actually called the A-Ron Ring when it returned in 1997. And Herman Tilke actually designed this track. Herman Tilke has designed many tracks, actually, as well. The A-Ron Ring hosted 7 Austrian Grand Prix between 1997 and 2003, with 2 wins apiece for Mika Hakkinen and Michael Schumacher. So there we go. And there's not many Austrian drivers in the world of Formula 1, but Niki Lauda is the only Austrian driver to have won his home race. So, yes, I don't think we've got any Austrian drivers tonight, but it is always a dream to win your home race. It's just, yeah. So, hopefully we can get underway. Hopefully Yuri is in the session. He is. Yay! That's good news. That's good news. Relief is over there, so hopefully he can control his car very, very soon. As I'm going to see if everybody has followed the rules on what tyres they should be starting on. Wait a second. Is Newgarden meant to be on the mediums? Nope, he's not. So, Newgarden is going to be in a bit of trouble, but everybody else is fine. Everybody else is on the tyre they should be on, so all good on that front. But for Newgarden, tucked up. I don't think he knew about that rule, but the drivers are meant to follow the rules. To be honest, I probably misunderstood the rules myself. So if he's watching the stream and believed what I said earlier, it's probably my fault. So I do apologise if you're watching this back. But anyway, just give me a second. Let me just get the information up. And so this your order then. We'll run through your order in just a second. So we've got Redmat, then Risky, Kyle, Ahmed, Brandon, Acorn, Yuri, Iceman, Ryan Berry, Newgarden, Gavin, Pete, Lee, and Matter. With Redmat and Brandon doing 2-stop strategy today. Everybody else on the 1-stop. Hopefully we're going to get a clean start to the lobby this time, please. No more glitches, because we don't want any glitches. Thank you very much, Cody's. But we should be in for a good one, folks. Listen in for the whole race. 50%, of course. And in multiplayer cars, the liveries are to represent what their team is. So if they have a lot of pink, they're in Team Pink. We've got Team Blue, Team Green, Team Red, and Team Yellow. Who's going to win this one? Is everybody on the grid now? Yes, they are. So hopefully, we're going to see the 5 red lights very, very soon. So, yes, we are. So the 5 red lights are coming on. And the race is underway. A good start from Redman, good start from Risky. What's it look like from everybody else? They make the way towards the Niki Lauda curb. Looking good so far. One person has gone off already in the start line. I believe that's Yuri. Not a good start from him as he's going to try and climb his way through the order now. But everybody else clean. Now let's see how they make it through the audacious turn 3. Looks like it's pretty clean. We got someone, I believe, from Team Blue going side by side. That's like Iceman, I believe. No, it's not Iceman in blue. Getting confused with other leagues. But it's a Team Blue car anyway with Akon. Well, it might have been, it looked like blue from my end, but it's actually green. So I do apologise about that. But Pete's already made his way past Yuri, so it must be that Yuri is definitely struggling a little bit there. But he's fought his way back past into turn 5. Can Pete get the run heading into towards turn 6? Yes, he does. He's good at copy Maker's double overtake almost on Lee, which he doesn't. So he's starting to fight his way back into the field already. The gap between first and second is starting to increase a little bit. And that's very, very important for Redmat if he wants to make this 2-stop strategy work already. And we're already seeing some good fast laps, actually, at this moment. And unfortunately, we are going to get the timing glitch, which unfortunately seems to not fix itself, even though it should have fixed itself. But, you know, it happens. And we're seeing 2 of the blue cars going side by side. I think it's between Carl and Risky there going for the move. And I wonder if there's going to be any team games being played here today. Or are they just going to focus on their own? Because the constructors is even more important in this league as well as the drivers. And especially Team Red definitely need to score some more points. But with Ahmed in a P4, that's going to be music to Team Red's ears. Ahmed is actually 5 tenths behind P3 of Risky. This could be the chance for everyone to take advantage of people that are not here, because there are 5 drivers that can't be there tonight. Some of the drivers not here usually score some really decent points, so, you know, they're probably going to be loving this if they can climb their way up the order. And we've got DRS enabled, properly enabled now for the drivers, so whenever they're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone, they are allowed to get the DRS flap. And Kyle is already out of DRS range, and he already took part over to, I think he stayed in second. Yes, he did stay in second. But he's got the challenging Risky right behind, has got plenty of DRS. Now let's look at Gavin, who's probably the closest out of anyone. This is going to be a very long DRS train, so I don't think we're going to see any overtakes for a while. But there's a lot of people using a lot of DRS already on the opening few laps, and that's a danger around here, especially since it's a very short lap, one of the shortest on the F1 calendar. It is very prone to actually use your ERS early. I've usually foul victim into that, as Yuri gets past leader up into 13th place. Obviously Yuri on the soft compounder tyres, so he's hoping to get past Pete soon as well. M. Ryan also out of DRS, so he's not going to be able to get past. Someone goes off the track. That's definitely a warning there as well. But unfortunately, Lee has spun. I think he's got a bit of front wing damage, so we're going to have to go into the pits now. I have to say, the drivers are very, very close, and you have to go into the pits. You're going to lose a chunk of time around here, so pitting is not the best option. Carl's now back in the DRS of Redmat. He's got a very good entry heading in towards turn 4. Can he get a good exit, though? Very, very soon. He stays behind Redmat at this moment in time, but it's starting to get a little bit better in terms of the weather. Obviously, it's going to be overcast throughout the whole of it as well. We've got Newgarden and Pete trying to fight out for 11th place. We've got 3 wide heading into now the king of turn 5. Let's see who can make it stick. One of them will have to back out, surely. One of them did back out. It was Pete. But we got Newgarden who makes it stick, keeps the move, and he's up into 11th place. Yuri, though, doesn't want Newgarden to have that position that easy. He makes past turn 8, now heading towards turn 9 and 10. A few people cutting the pit exit there, but they can do it, I believe, if they're not pitting. So all is well under that front. Yuri's got the DRS. Not many people is going to overtake into turn 1, but Yuri's going to say, you know what, I can do that. But Yuri's not going to have DRS heading in towards this section, as there's like 3 DRS zones that follow directly after each other. We got Matt all over the back as well, and Pete, I have to say, Pete, bravo. Pete was in like 13th or something, and he just made a double overtake. Absolutely insane. Pete waited for the perfect moment there, and Newgarden has dropped, I think, 2 positions now because of it. Yuri going for the dive bomb. Can he make it work? He's gone off a bit. Almost an unsafe rejoin from Yuri there, but I don't think he's got damage. But a bit of a shame now. Unfortunately, the dive bomb did not help at all. But that definitely helped Pete, as he's got a good gap now. Almost wants to try and break free of DRS from Newgarden, because if Newgarden gets DRS, then Pete could be in a lot of trouble, but we'll see. They're all on the same amount of tyres anyway. As Lee's already been lapped, so that shows how Lee is definitely struggling in this race so far. But, oh, it might be Iceman, actually. It's Iceman. No, it is Iceman. Iceman's ghosted. I thought I was Lee for a minute there, because he looked quite similar. Nope, Iceman, unfortunately, disconnected from the session. So that is why he is ghosted. And that is why quite a few people actually got past him at the moment. Let's see if Emrine and Gavin can go for a move. Another move heading in towards turn 4. Come on, son, goes Logan there. But Emrine saying, no, you're having none of that. Past 5, heading in towards turn 6 now. Now, this is very, very tricky on the throttle, because you can lift a little bit as well. Short shift down 1 gear, and you should be good, as Emrine would say as well. Doing a fantastic job so far. I'm going to see who has gained the most positions so far. We've got Carl has gained 1, Iceman's gained 1, Emrine has gained 1, Gavin's gained 3, Pete has gained 2, and Mata has gained 2 positions as well. Biggest losers, obviously Yuri dropped down 7, Lee has dropped down 1, Newgarden's dropped down 1 as well, and Risky has dropped 1. Brandon looking for a move past Ahmed now. These 2 have stayed position for quite a while now. And if I was Brandon, maybe pitting, I think I would say lap 10, lap 11 for the undercut to go onto the medium tyres and then go on the softs at the end. That was what I was going to do yesterday before my plan failed and I got damaged. But there we go. But that's probably what Brandon will do anyway, and Red Matt will do potentially as well. We are already starting to see quite a few penalties as Gavin and Ryan still go to make their way heading towards turn 6. It's going to be like ping pong this time. Gavin gets past Ryan up into P8. Great move there. But speaking about the penalties, there's 5 drivers on 3 second time penalties. Yuri is now on the first person in the 6 second penalty club. So Red Mouse on 3, Risky's on 3, Logan's on 3, and Newgarden is on 3 as well. So lap 8 of 36 now. Is anyone going to blink for these moves now? Because it's going to be very, very hard. Maybe Brandon can as well. He got very, very close there to Amin heading towards turn 3. Now, I'm not going to say the names of these corners because sometimes I get it absolutely wrong. But unfortunately, Brandon was not very close enough to Ahmed this time around. So maybe next lap. Looking up to P12 at the moment. Mata is up into 12th. But Newgarden, I don't think he's got DRS. Neither has Mata. So Yuri has though, I believe. Or is there no DRS in general? Newgarden almost doing a similar thing to what Yuri did, but he managed to caught the car almost in good shape, so that's good. And you really don't want to get into the gravel there. You really don't. But we will see what happens, because if you do head into the gravel and you end up spinning, your tyres tend to overheat quite a lot and spin, and especially some of these drivers run either medium traction or no traction, your car's going to be in a hell of a lot of trouble. Red Matt leads by 0.4 of a second now. I wonder if Risky and Carl will be working together. Meanwhile, Brandon goes on the right-hand side of Ahmed, but Ahmed is probably could get the switch back here, heading towards turn 4. We'll have to wait and see. Getting a good run here on Brandon. He's going to try and go to the right. Can Brandon defend on the left-hand side? We'll have to wait and see. And he does it with ease at the moment in time. Can Ahmed take the risk that he does to get past Brandon? No, he does not. But we also got Bow in the background as well. I believe it's Ryan and Gavin also having a battle as well. I'm almost starting to lose my voice already. We're already on lap 9. So many battles have happened already. It's absolutely insane. But it just goes to show how a lot of these drivers love this track, as Ahmed has picked himself up a 3-second time penalty. But here we go. Brandon, I believe, is taking his first pit stop out of 2. So, what I was expecting actually, but a lap earlier, so. But they can make it for a while. So, Brandon goes on to the medium tyres. Will Red Matt respond to that? To be honest, I think he's got to, really, because he's on the same strategy. So, I wonder if Red Matt has seen Brandon go into the pit lane. Quite a lot of these guys are in a party as well, so they'll probably be communicating with each other quite a lot. So they may know what to do, but some of these drivers don't like to keep each other secrets. They sometimes like to mute the party and just focus on their own race. But if it's a team game like this, you definitely want to be working with your teammates. As we got Yuri going for the move this time, and this time it does work almost. The exit was not very good for him. That allowed Newgarden to get the run that he needed. Red Matt goes into the pit, and that was a response to the undercut from Brandon. But we'll see how these two do actually, heading towards the final corner. But let's go on board with Brandon, as he's right on the back of these two actually right now. And we're already a third race distance so far, which is crazy to me. But anyway, Brandon. So where's Brandon? Where's Red Matt? It's going to be close. So Red Matt has gone comfortably ahead. So unfortunately the undercut did not work for Brandon. But Red Matt is focused now to try and get past some traffic, because I've noticed around there last night when I was being lapped, traffic issues could cost you a huge amount of time. So if you want a different strategy, my main advice is to move out of the way as quickly as you possibly can. So Red Matt in now up into 10th position on the road, but your net race leader as well. And Brandon's definitely got to get past these lot. And Brandon got past Yuri. We need to get past Newgarden. And Newgarden and Yuri were on a battle there as well. So if I was Yuri, maybe just drop back a little bit as well. Newgarden trying to defend that, but even though that he didn't need to. Oh my goodness, Brandon. Jesus, that was almost a very risky situation to be in, but that was probably another warning there. I think Newgarden really needs to pick out his own battles, but we'll find out. As looking at Brandon's ERS, it strikes me that he's ran out. He's using his ERS quickly. Maybe he's forgotten that he's used quite a lot already, and it's hard to recharge around here due to the fact that it is high speed. So I think Brandon's focus now, due to the fact that he's got some clear air in front of him, he's got to save some ERS, but at the moment I think he should be coping fine with that as well. Meanwhile, the ones on the one stop, we got Carl that leads it. Akon though, 5/10 behind Ahmed, looking pretty strong indeed. More penalties. I definitely do think, I know I said that earlier on in the stream, but penalties can definitely decide the outcome, and I'm not even kidding right now. Only a couple of drivers not getting penalties, and I won't be surprised if only a few drivers have no penalties. So as Akon and Ahmed go up the hill, heading towards turn 3. Akon's ERS on 22%. Ahmed should be at a much bigger advantage because Ahmed is on 50%. And he's saving his ERS as well, heading towards the corners, the heavy braking zones, which I think is a smart idea. He's only using his overtake when he sees fit, so when he sees Akon right behind him, he's going to probably potentially go for that move. Now I would say around about, I'm just trying to think, when will these drivers come in for their pit stops. Now, I'm just looking at how long these last. Now, I would say lap 13 or 14, but Risky's going in now as Yuri's out of the race. Now, what happened to Yuri? We got a safety car. Now, that's why people have gone into the pits. And unfortunately, the game is not telling me that there's a safety car, but I do know there's one. And Risky is definitely taking advantage of that because you lose so much less time in the pit stop under safety car. So, that's the best time to do it. That was good time for Risky, not good time for his teammate, though. I'm just going to check if it's a safety car. Nope, it's a VSC. Okay, I thought it was a safety car, but no, it's a VSC. It's annoying that the game doesn't tell me that, but there we go. But definitely pitting under the safety car was... Oh, did he pit before the safety car? I don't even know, but whatever happened, he was probably relieved that happened, to be honest. So, he's got to... let's watch out for Risky as everybody else pits. Because I think if I was everybody else in the field right now, I'll be getting a bit worried about him. But I'm not going to jinx things too much. So we've got Kyle heading into the pits. I believe Ahmed is going to be doing exactly the same thing. He was doing a little bit of a dummy there. He was trying to get, I think, Acorn and Iceman to potentially go into the pits as well. But Kyle comes in. Clean pit stop for him. I kind of wish it also tells me the pit loss. Well, the pit stops. So where's Risky now? We'll see. Oh, Risky's been caught unawares. He's got to be careful of Kyle now. If he didn't get caught up in that incident, Risky would have definitely been the net leader of this race because Red Matt, he's on the hard tyres. Now, I don't think he was meant to do that, so he must have got damaged. So let me check race director a second and go on to pit stops. I believe it was a change in front wing for Red Matt. Yes, it is. He got damaged at 8.3 second pit stop. So, well, at least Red Matt's already done his 2-stop already, but he is going to hope for a late safety car in order for him to be back into this race. We could see for the very first time in the world the ones who didn't do the 2-stop, not in the top 5, but you never know what could happen. Iceman goes into the... I thought it was Iceman that goes into the pits. No, it's Ahmed and Acorn. I think Acorn and Ahmed there. I'm not entirely sure. It's hard to tell. But I don't think it was damaged there. Let's have a look at his pit stop. Nope, it wasn't damaged. So I think it was the AI taking control there and he got very, very lucky. Now, Risky is in 6th, so he's still going to get some good points. But what could have been, I think, for Risky if he did not have that spin? I should not have jinxed him. Meanwhile, Pete and Ryan Berry going for a nice move. It's for position, don't forget, even though it's not for on-track position of the lead. Well, it's not for the net lead, but it's for on-track position for P2. Pete stays in 2nd. These two will be staying out for quite some time, as well as Matu as well. One of the 4 drivers who started on the mediums. Newgarden potentially quite illegally, but it will be discussed in the stewards. But as Pete picks himself a time penalty now, I believe he had none a few laps ago, but now he's on 3. As Iceman heads into the pits, the last of the soft runners to go into the pit stop. And his pit crew ready to go. And he's onto the mediums. So there we go. So the ones who have just pitted, apart from Brandon, they will be getting those tyres until the end of this race. And Brandon, I believe, pitted just now as well. Let me check race director again. Did Brandon get damage? Or it was strategic? No, it was strategic. So he was doing a soft, medium, medium. So Brandon doesn't have to pit at all. So Brandon and Red Matt have done their 2 stops. So not the ideal way they would have wanted to do their 2-stop. I thought they would have done soft, medium, soft. But I'm guessing they want to try and be conservative. Because there's still people yet to stop. Meanwhile, we've got Ahmed and Aiko going side by side, heading in towards turn 4. Ahmed getting a beautiful run there, going through towards the downhill section. At this moment in time, we've got Iceman right on the back of this is 2, who is ready to play backseat to this. And if any of those 2 make a mistake, Iceman could pounce on this, and that could be gold for the Team Yellow driver. Now, Ahmed Ahmed's running out of ERS now. Deployment limit. So he's going to find it hard to catch up to Newgarden, who hasn't yet pitted. I wonder if Newgarden's mediums, as well as Pete's and Ryan Bays and Matters, is starting to struggle right now. It could overheat quite a lot. I do remember that I was on these tyres for quite some time in a league race yesterday, and even on 16 lap old tyres, it was like 50%. So it is a killer, those medium tyres, so they've got to make it work. Meanwhile, Ahmed gets past Newgarden. It's Akon. Ooh, did I see a bit of damage there from someone? I didn't see which car it was, but you can see Akon dropping down as Iceman and Newgarden going side by side. Iceman gets past the traffic there. I think you can either see Akon or Gavin going for the lunge. A lot of people going for last minute lunges late on the brakes, which is quite common around here in Austria, so not that surprising. Akon almost running out of ERS as well, so he must be a very worried boy at the moment. But we'll see, as a lot of people are extending track limits by quite a lot. I can tell when these drivers are going to get warnings. Meanwhile, Iceman goes into the pit, so it was him that got damaged, but I believe he can pit into the softs from lap 20, so he may go on to... Nope, he can't pit onto the soft now, so he's going on to another 7 mediums. Not the ideal race he would have wanted, but at least his tyres that he's on could get to the end from here. Meanwhile, Newgarden has dropped a little bit from Akon and Gavin. Gavin on the softs, actually. So, obviously, he pitted quite early on, but there's no way that the softs that he's on currently is going to make it to the end like that. It's just no way, Jose. So, he's probably going to be in a lot of trouble, but you never know. Anything can happen in VSL F1. And make sure you watch until the end of this race, because we could be in for a fantastic finale, maybe a shootout for the race victory. And like that, Risky could still be a contender for a podium. That's how close it is. And because Red Matt and Brandon bottled it, or they may have got caught up in incidents, I don't know, and Iceman also got caught up in an incident, that's brought Risky back into contention. And Risky's teammate, Kyle, is leading by 2.4 seconds. Now, I don't want to jinx Kyle, but this is a chance for Kyle to redeem himself, and he's doing very, very well so far. Showing some consistent pace and saying some very good lap times. Looking good so far. Well, how will his medium tyres do at the end of the race? Meanwhile, Risky's got to get the move done on Matter, because otherwise not going to be good on the tyres or the dirty air. But we will see, of course, as Matter... Oh, has someone spun? That is Pete. I believe Pete was trying to go into the pit lane and he binned it. So you'll have to go in anyway for changing front wing. So I'm going to follow him going into the pit stop, but my oh my. He was on course for a good alternate strategy. He was going to look to possibly challenge for the podium, but that mistake in the pit stops, not good at all. And I believe he did not hit the wall there. I think his tyres were just not good in it, but he just lost quite a bit of time. But you never know. The race is not over for Pete. Still quite a bit of this race to go. And that's probably helped M. Ryan now, as M. Ryan's doing a good amount of points. Unfortunately, Yuri won't be scoring any points today, but that gives a few people more chance to score some decent points. Maybe there's quite a few people that haven't scored many points. So as Risky gets past Ryan Barry, who I believe goes into the pit anyway, who was responding to Pete. Ryan Barry getting a much cleaner pit stop, as Red Matt has unfortunately retired from the session, and I believe that he's retired in the pit lane, or did he bin it by himself? Let me have a look. I think he retired in the pit lane. Yes, he has retired in the pit lane. What a shame for Red Matt, so he must have lost it on his own once again, but we'll see how he goes next week. Let's see. At least he's going to go on to the one-stop strategy next week, so he doesn't have to worry about the two-stop. Mata goes into the pit. He goes on to a soft, so I believe that's everybody that was meant to pitted. Now Lee, did Lee start on the mediums? He's gone on to the hard tyres. Now, does he not know that the soft tyres could make it to the end from here? A bit worrying for Lee, but again, wanting to be conservative, we'll see. The interesting battle here is going to be for the midfielders. Brandon, obviously, now in this fight still, could still be on for a podium because he's really, really quick. So let's see what he does behind Logan. Past turn 8 now. And we don't want any of these drivers to get damaged. They want to fight to the death. They want to fight until the end of this Grand Prix. And Red Matt not very happy at all. Unfortunately, he's left the session. So 2 retirements so far. Hopefully we won't get any more. Meanwhile, Brandon, past turn 2 now, heading towards turn 3. Could this be the lunge that he is looking for? Gavin, I believe, is the only person who needs to pit one more time. Is he going to go for the lunge? He does. It's turn 4. Can he hold on to the line? Logan looked like he was going to go defensive there, but he didn't. So Brandon up to 5th. Brandon's up into 5th place. His next challenger is not that far up the road, actually. It is Akon for P4. 4/10 is the gap separating them right now. I did see someone going to the pits, actually. Or someone trying to go into the pits. I believe that is Gavin. So, is he going on? Does he have softs left? I don't know, to be honest. It's going to be really hard to tell. So, we'll see what happens. No, goes on to another set of mediums. I thought so. I thought he was going to go on to another set of mediums because I was a bit confused. Like, what? Why are you not going on mediums? But he is, so that's good. So everybody has done their mandatory stop that they needed to and can comfortably get through until the end of this Grand Prix. I think this man is probably going to get the win unless something unfortunate happens to him. I hope nothing bad happens to him, but you see, it will give everybody a chance to pounce. Now, I will give a quick reminder of the penalty situation. Now, Risky's probably going to be dropping down the order anyway because Risky is on 12 seconds worth of penalties. Ahmed is on 3 seconds worth of penalties. Brad is on 3. Heat is on 6. Iceman's on 3. Logan's on 6. Newgarden is on 6 seconds as well. And Lee's on 6 seconds. Ryan Berry got past them. Ryan there into turn 1. And he's now up into 7th. He's got Matter all over the back of this as well. Wanting to have a piece of the action. Could he go to the middle? 3 wide into turn 3. May not miss. Someone has to back out. Please. Looked like M. Ryan had to back out a little bit there, but he almost didn't. But thank goodness that it didn't end up something completely out of the ordinary. And thankfully, no damage. So, luckily these drivers are still driving very, very nicely indeed. So let us know as well who has been your driver of the day. Who has impressed you the most so far in this league tonight? Been some good battles actually. There's been some battles that had me on the edge of my seat. And I wonder if some people have got something saved towards the end, because imagine that. A great finale, final few laps, just like we've seen in Bahrain on Sunday. In real life, of course. Not going to spoil things too much, but I'm sure all of you would have found out about the results by now. Surely it's Wednesday, for goodness sake. But it was a fantastic race, and hopefully we may not get the grandstand finale that we're looking for, but we could see people getting their best results of the season. which is a great underdog story to have. Now, the gap is dropping between Kyle and Risky, so I think Risky has been told to push, but I can tell he's pushing because his ERS is dying. He's on like 10%, 5%. Now, for those of you that don't know, the red light on behind the car means that the red light on the back of the car means that they're running out of ERS. So that's something to point out, because I know some of you people that play this game may not know it. But yeah, if you're following a car behind and they have a red flashing light, it means they're running out of those. So it could help you when you know that you could overtake someone potentially. And I actually need to try and remember, where did Kyle start? I think Kyle started second. Now, I'm trying to remember if anyone has actually won a race in Austria from second. I think Max Verstappen won from second on the grid before, even though he had a really bad start, but it may just be me imagining things. I do not know, but I'm just trying to see. Let me have a look. I don't know. I really don't know. Hard to tell. Really hard to tell. Anyway, Mata onto the back of Ryan Berry on lap 28. Mata keeping a caution at the moment. Let's keep an eye on the tyres as well. We've got Mata on the soft tyres, and we've got M. Ryan on the mediums, and we've got Ryan Berry on the soft. So both of them on equal footing. Mata, I think, having an advantage going into, I think, the setup, because sometimes it's all well and good that you're quicker, but sometimes the setup may make the difference. Having good straight line speed in some of the corners is very, very key. There's hardly much braking zones. I would say turn 3, obviously turn 1, and heading towards turn 4, I think, are the only braking zones. The others, you just need a bit of a light tap on the brakes and downshift into a gear lower than you were currently. So I think, you know, it's going to be a potential for stuff like that. But anyway, Risky gets into the pits now. I believe he's going to the soft. Did he get damaged? Let me have a look. If I had a Coke on with me, I would have checked this stuff. But he had nothing to lose, so why not? Risky. Did he get damaged? No, so it was strategic for Risky. He's on the softs anyway, so he's going to try and go for the fastest lap, which will, no matter where you are on the grid, as M. Ryan has had a very bad exit into turn 3. This may help Risky a little bit. This may be teammate versus teammate heading towards turn 4 now. Ryan has to go defensive, but no can do for M. Ryan. Risky is on much fresher tyres and much softer tyres, in fact. So Risky is up into 8th place. Can Risky find about 1.8 seconds to catch up to Pete, who's had a good recovery from his earlier pit stop, I have to say. So Pete could still potentially get some very good points here. So do watch out for that, because there could be penalties that could decide this. We've got yellow flags. I believe that's Lee, who's binned it in turn 1, and he is retired on track. I don't think you are allowed to retire on track, because sometimes it can cause a late safety car, which we don't want to happen. He's parked it on the entry of the F2 paddock there, of the support paddock, so you don't want that, my friend. So your order is this now. So Carl in first, Ahmed in second, out of all people. I have to say, Ahmed is doing a fantastic job. He's only got 3 seconds. I know he may drop out of second, but he's, I don't know. I'm just looking at the gap to leader, but he's still going to get some very good haul of points. I'm just going to see, actually. So 11. He's going to be close. He needs to push for his life if he wants to get a podium, I have to say. But, you know, I like a good underdog story, but, you know, I haven't talked much about him. He's been having some good battles throughout the race as well, with Acorn and Gavin and all those people. So Very, very impressed with his time management as well. I wonder if we could do the same with his ERS management. ERS is on around about 35, 36%. So, yeah, I think he should be fine as long as he doesn't have much pressure. Meanwhile, more battles happening in the midfield as Pete, 3 wide heading into turn 3. Well, it was 2 wide at the front, but it head towards 2 wide at the behind now as Pete is up in the 6th place. Meanwhile, Mata gets past Brandon. Brandon tries to say, no, you're having none of that, as they head towards turn 5 now and heading towards the start of turn 6 then. Can Brandon get the send that he desperately needs? No, he can't due to the dirty air. We got Ryan Berry and Pete also catching up to this train. I did say we could be on for the most exciting finale, and definitely we are potentially going to get one today. Boy, oh boy, I am looking forward to this. I don't want this to end. Can we just have like a 100% race or something? This has been a very good race so far. Meanwhile, Risky is making up for lost time. Let's see if he could get past Pete. No, Pete closes the door on Risky. What about now? Is they're not leaving each other's space at all. Well, they are now, but they weren't on the entry of the corner. But Risky gets past Pete quite comfortably. I wonder if Pete's tyres are starting to degrade a little bit. The crossover point potentially as well. But that's the beauty of Risky being on much newer tyres. Who's got the fastest lap so far? Let me have a look. Fastest lap is gone to Risky so far. With a 105.4. I think it's going to be very, very tough to beat, but you never know. So let me get back to the interval again so I can see the lovely battles that are happening right now. And the gap between Kyle and Ahmed is crazy. 10.4 seconds. I'm going to check Kyle's penalties as well. Does he have any warnings? Let me just have a look. He's only got 1 warning. What is this man? What is this man? I usually get a lot of warnings by now in the race, and he's only got 1. So, to be honest, Kyle is a machine on this track, but I'm not going to say anything more because I'm not going to jinx him. So, enough about him for the next 3 laps or so. Let's hope I haven't caused too much pressure on Kyle, but there we go. Ryan Berry then, doing well on those softs. We've got a DRS train of soft runners now. And I wonder if that's going to put pressure on Brandon, who's been on those mediums for quite some time now. It's definitely going to be under puncher territory soon. Because there was no safety car, there was a VSC. And 21 laps the mediums last. So yeah, a bit of a push. They could make it, but their tyres are going to be very, very hot. They're going to be around about 60 to 75%. 70% is where puncher territory could start. But you can get it between any time between 70 and 90, just depending on how you push and how you manage your tyres. So let's see then. Ryan Berry getting a good run. Ooh, Brandon trying to cover off that. 3 wide into turn 1. There's a lot of 3 wide movements happening today, and you don't go 3 wide into turn 1, and that's what happened. Ryan Berry went into an unfortunate spin there, and he is down in P8. My oh my. Yeah, you just, what? I don't get why people don't. Why do people go 3 wide in turn 1? It just do not mix. It's just very, very narrow. I mean, but anyway, I don't know. I'm not the person that makes the strategies and goes for the call for moves around here. And I have to say, whilst we were on board with that 3-wide battle, Mata has got past Ahmed. So Mata is up into P2 on track after starting on the medium. So Mata starting from, I believe it was dead last because he invalidated his lap time. And he's in 2nd. I have to say, maybe alternate strategy OP. We don't know. But maybe Mata is potentially new contender for driver of the day, but Ahmed is as well, but he's under threat from Risky. I don't think Ahmed is going to fight too much because I know Ahmed will know about the 12-second penalty that Risky has got. And yeah, I had a feeling he wasn't going to fight that one because there's no way Risky's going to pull like 12 seconds on these lot. There's just no way. So Ahmed is going to get a potential podium, which I have to say is insane. Absolutely insane. But the race is going to be almost over in a second. It's just crazy that the race goes quickly just like that. But you can see Risky's all over the back of Mata. I know it may not be for the end result, but it will be for on-track position because you really want to go racing here. Risky goes to the right-hand side before you reach turn 1. Can he comfortably do it? Yes, he can. Mata knew about the 12-second penalty. He took the same approach as what Ahmed did, and Mata is in third on track, but he will get P2 once penalties have been applied, of course. And I wonder we have some battles up ahead as well. We've got Brandon that's struggling. I believe Brandon's got a puncher. Has he got a puncher? Yes, he has got a puncher. Rear left puncher. I did say it'll be puncher territory from lap 21 laps. And unfortunately, he was fallen victim into that. What a shame from Brandon. He took the risk for staying out that long, but unfortunately, he got a puncher. It's going to be Ryan for Kyle, but we'll see as Ryan Berry gets past Akon. But let's go on board with Kyle, as Kyle is a race winner in Austria. This is redemption for him. He's had 2 horrible races, but he could end today with a smile. Mata goes across the line in second, and Ahmed gets P3. Pete comes across the line in 4th due to picking up less penalties than anybody else. So I did say Iski will still get some good points, and so would Pete as well. So great to see, as looks like Brandon just trying to get the whole car across the line. He's gonna still, I think a lot of people are gonna be saying, Brandon, just finish your score points. Newgarden's gonna come across the line in 11th. And yeah, I think if Brandon was in 13th and he was doing it, he probably would have retired with the car. But since the top 12 do score points here, then he's using it as motivation. Oh, he's not. I think because he completed 9%, surely he'll be classified. But we will. I think the game will classify him anyway, and the game gives Mata driver of the day. And to be honest, I have to agree with that. Not gonna lie. And a dominant race from Carl, really, from pretty much when the likes of Red Matt and Brandon pitted for their first stops. Carl just controlled the race from here on out, and that's what led to his victory. No battles, really. From then, he was just running his own race. And sometimes you have to do that. So I think he'll be happy with that. I'm sure. Yeah, you'll definitely be happy with that. So, here's your race results then. Kyle wins from Mata, Ahmed, Pete, Risky, Ryan Berry, Acorn, M. Ryan, Iceman, Gavin, Newgarden, Brandon, Lee, and Red Matt. So, Lee, Red Matt, and Jury are your retirements. I do believe Brandon will still be classified. But, yeah, he will be classified as 1 lap down. But anyway, wow. My voice is almost dead. It was a great race. Brandon is just saying in the chat, in our little chat that we have, that he was very, very sad that he got a puncher. And he felt bad about the battles, about the mistakes that he's had. But there we go. Sometimes you have those mistakes, and it's how you learn from them heading into next week. So, next week, like I said earlier on in the stream, we head to the Netherlands in Zandvoort, one of the new tracks on the game. Not many places for overtaking, but my oh my, it's a fantastic track to race at. And it's going to be some competitive lap times, I can assure you now. I've been JessGames95. I'll let you enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll see you next week, same time, 8 PM UK time, for the Dutch Grand Prix. Have a good evening, everybody, and goodbye.